Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Continue our reading from first canto, chapter 8. After Kunti offered her prayers to the Lord, Sutta Goswami states, "The Lord, whose greatness has been glorified by the sweet words of Kunti Devi, smiled softly as if bewildered by praying." Krishna Krishna is the all-powerful, and yet he can be bewildered by praying. It is that which can bewilder the Lord himself, the love of his devotees towards him. So in this way, he gave in to Kunti's request that he would stay a little longer. His hope was to go to Dwarka, but for now, he would stay. And ultimately, the Lord thought it was a good idea, and we'll hear why. Agreeing with her, Krishna again entered Hastinapur. He took permission from Kunti and the other women to leave for his city, but he was prevented from leaving by Yudhisthira out of his great love for Krishna. So again, here Yudhisthira, out of his love, causes Krishna to change his plans. Krishna is wanting to go to Dwarka, but Yudhisthira's love conquers him, holds him down. But Krishna has a plan, actually, behind all of this. Though instructed through the stories of Vyasa and other sages who did not know the Lord's intention, and though even instructed by Krishna, who had performed the remarkable action of bewildering Yudhisthira at this moment, Yudhisthira became overcome with grief and could not understand those instructions. Yudhisthira seemed to become completely bewildered, and this was the Lord's plan. Here, Srila Visvanatha Cakravarti gives us an insight. Since I am staying here, Krishna is thinking, I will make my devotee Bhishma happy by showing myself along with my followers to him, since he does not want to die without seeing me. Bhishma was still at the battlefield, lying on a bed of arrows in Kurukshetra. And Krishna understood that Bhishma was actually waiting for Krishna to come to him, because Bhishma did not want to pass from this world without seeing the Lord. So Krishna thought, well, this is a good opportunity. No one actually understands the real purpose of my being here and so many other things. So I will glorify Bhishma by having him speak instructions to Yudhisthira Maharaj. I will have him instruct Yudhisthira in order to spread his glories to the world. This is actually the wish of the Lord. This is the thinking of the Lord. Okay, so I will stay. Krishna appeared to be bewildered, and he is bewildered by the love of his devotees, but he can still make other arrangements. And so he was thinking, Bhishma is wanting to see me. If I bewilder Yudhisthira, and he thinks, why have I engaged in this horrible warfare? What was the actual value of it all? Killing relatives and thinking like this, bewildered. He felt unhappy. Why have I done this? So this was Krishna actually acting from within to bewilder Yudhisthira with the idea of bringing him to Bhishma and glorifying Bhishma's position. O Brahmanas, Yudhisthira, thinking of the killing of his friends, overcome with bewilderment arising from his affection for them, due to material thinking, he began to speak. Oh, look at the ignorance spread over my evil heart, Yudhisthira is saying. I don't know what overcame me. I have an evil heart to kill relatives and teachers and people whom I shared affection with. I don't know what overcame me. How can I live with myself any longer? Just for this body, which is food fit for jackals? Oh, I have killed so many beloved members of my family with my own army. So here he is showing himself. I've killed children. I've killed Brahmins. I've killed relatives, friends, paternal uncles, cousins, and even my gurus. I cannot be free from hellish punishment for at least 10,000 years. So bewildered, in this way he's thinking, I've killed so many relatives and friends and members of my family, even my teachers. What will be the outcome? I thought to preserve this body, to live a comfortable life. Why? Why did I engage in such warfare? Now, what is will be the result? Most likely, I will have to suffer hellish punishments for at least 10,000 years. There is no sin for the king who kills the enemies in a righteous war, protecting his citizens. But this does not apply to me, thinking, of course, I understand the glories of a Kshatriya in a righteous war, but this was not the situation. I do not know how to counteract the injury I have inflicted on the women whose husbands and sons I have killed. What ritual or yajna can I do to overcome this sin? I don't know. Just as one cannot purify muddy water by using mud, certainly one cannot purify what is contaminated with liquor by applying more liquor. Oh, it is not possible to purify oneself of killing even one living being by performing what? Some animal sacrifice? What am I to do? He's thinking that I've implicated myself in such sinful activities for the benefit of this body. So here he remains completely bewildered. And on this note, chapter 8 ends. Thus ends the commentary of the 8th chapter of the 1st canto of the Bhagavatam, which Srila Visvanatha Cakravarti says, I've written for the pleasure of the devotees, in accordance with the previous acharyas. Chapter 9 is entitled Yudhisthira Ascends the Throne. Sutta Uvacha. Sutta continues speaking. Being fearful because of having committed violence, Yudhisthira, desiring to examine all dharmas, went to Kurukshetra, where Bhishma had fallen. So Krishna suggested we should go see Bhishma. He is wise. He is your grandfather, and he fought on the other side. Let us talk with him. He knows what is actual dharma. You have become bewildered, but he is the actual knower of dharma, so I will take you to see Bhishma, and he will instruct you properly. When all present agreed that the correct advice was to ask Bhishma, who knew all dharmas, whether Yudhisthira had lost his sense of judgment, Yudhisthira went to Kurukshetra to meet Bhishma. His brother and the brahmanas, such as Vyas and Domya, followed behind with chariots decorated with gold and fine horses. O Shanak, the Lord, along with Arjuna, also followed behind in his chariot. King Yudhisthira shone like a god, like the god of wealth, Kuvera, accompanied by Guyakas who are guardians of his wealth. Seeing Bhishma lying on the ground like a fallen devata, the Pandavas offered respects to him, along with their followers and Krishna. Bhishma is their grandfather. He did not want this war, but was implicated also. And so he fought, but on the other side. So they're visiting him. Not only is he beloved grandfather, but they understand that he is the wisest of them all. And therefore Krishna took Yudhisthira and the other Pandavas to see Bhishma, who was lying there on a bed of arrows, ready to die, but wanting to get the darshan of Krishna before he left this world. And also, Krishna wanting to have Bhishma glorified by giving instructions on Dharma to Yudhisthira Maharaj before Yudhisthira would ascend the throne. O Shanak, there the Brahmins, sages, the sages of the heavenly planets, and kings who were sages, all had gathered to see the best of the Bharat lineage. O Brahmana, Parvat, Narda, Jomya, Vyas, Vidhashwa, Bhadaraj, Parshuram, Vashishta, Indrapamada, Tritya, Gritsamada, Asita, Kakshivan, Gotama, Achi, Koshika, Sudarshan, along with their disciples, as well as many other pure sages, Shasha, Shuka, Kashyap, and Brihaspati, all came to that location with their disciples to give a proper send-off to the glorious Bhishma Dev, the best of Vasus, Bhishma, endowed with great qualities, knowledgeable of Dharma, as applicable according to place and time. Seeing all who had gathered, they worshipped him, and he, in turn, worshipped them. Bhishma, understanding Krishna's powers, even in mind, even if he is lying there, he honors them, worshipping them with his mind, that all these powerful sages, along with Krishna, have come here just to see me. So naturally, he offers his respects to them all, while they're offering their respects to him. This is the nature of Vaishnava loving exchange. Bhishma, understanding Krishna's powers, worshipped Krishna, Lord of the universe, who is situated within the heart, and who was seated there, and who had come there before Bhishma out of great mercy. And Bhishma understood that, and along with all these powerful sages, Brahmins, here's Krishna, the Lord of the universe. He has come to see me. He who is situated within the heart of all beings has come to see me. This is certainly his great mercy. His eyes blinded by tears of love, he spoke to the Pandavas sitting there, filled with humility and love. Having the shelter of Brahmanas, Dharma, and Krishna, you should not live your life in suffering, since that is dangerous and improper. So here he begins his advice. You're under the care, under the shelter of saintly persons, Brahmins, under the care and shelter of Dharma itself, and of course, Krishna. So do not live your life suffering in mental anxiety. That is dangerous and improper. Commentary. The word dangerous and improper do not really apply to the king. To whom do the words refer? The improper situation has arisen because of Vishnu, the mover and maintainer of the whole universe. You should not live your life in suffering. If others live like that, that is their concern. But you have done what was proper. You did not do anything improper. You were instructed by learned persons. Dharma was on your side. Krishna was on your side. In fact, Krishna was a charioteer of your brother, Arjuna. When the great warrior Pandu died, his wife, Kunti, with young children, constantly underwent many difficulties in raising all of you, since you were young at that time. Your father, Pandu, died when he was young, but his wife, Kunti, stayed behind just to raise you. What was the suffering? Here states the commentary. This verse describes being alone with young children causes much suffering. Though you are now grown up, she underwent great suffering with you as a young child. She was also young, and she had all of you, 5 of you, to raise. Consider the suffering of that. A mother without a husband is a hard situation. So a mother who takes that responsibility to raise the children when the father has passed or has gone, that is a glorious position. So think of her. I consider that this, which is unwelcome, has all been done to you by time, which controls the world and is the protector, just as the wind controls the clouds. Krishna says, time I am. Everything is going on by the will of the Lord, and it manifests through the course of time. Time is like a flowing river. In this material world, everything is carried by the current of time. And that is considered God's will. We have to accept it like that. It is stated, time and tide wait for no man. So the tide of time carries us through various situations which we have to face, good and bad. The situation arose by the will of the Lord. This whole battle that took place, the Kurukshetra war, was arranged by the Lord. Nothing goes on without the will of the Lord. And all we can do is respond properly. And here Bhishma says, oh, Yudhisthira, you did respond properly. You took shelter of the Brahmins, you took shelter of Dharma, and you took shelter of Krishna, and then you fought. There is nothing to lament. Do not carry some suffering or mental baggage, anxiety with you. What is the cause of our suffering? States the commentary. It cannot be due to karma, since I do not see either recent or old karmas as the cause. Therefore, Bhishma speaks words of the common people. But time is simply the substratum of the experience of happiness and distress, which are called prarabdha karmas. Thus, when you say that time is the cause, time is acting as an assistant. Why do you not just say clearly that our sufferings is our own prarabdha karma resulting from our sins? Yudhisthira is well known as the direct incarnation of Dharma. If Dharma, personified Yudhisthira, has prarabdha karmas, how can he have any sense of Dharma? Therefore, the cause is not karma, but time or Krishna's will, which cannot be counted or cannot be explained. So, for the common person, certainly we are carried by karmas into various situations, but this cannot be the situation for Yudhisthira. Yudhisthira is Dharma personified. How can he have any prarabdha karmas? Therefore, what is being described here is actually the direct will of the Lord. In the material world, everything moves by karmic cycles. In accordance with what we have done, the result will come. But in the case of the Lord's devotees, just as Yudhisthira Maharaj is a great devotee, what is moving? Not karma, but the will of the Lord. Jai Gaur Premanande Haribol. Jai Shri Krishna.